Hello everybody and welcome to Mariah's Sanctuary. I'm Mariah. Today's topic is on the murder of Grant Whitaker. Viewer discretion is advised. The reason I decided to do this video is because I don't believe that justice was served in this case. The information below came from the auction website. In the article was a camp dispute between two deaf men that led to death, self-defense, or murder. Two young prominent men in the online deaf community who were collaborating on a communal farm project suddenly disappeared. What happened? On August 24, 2019, detectives in Lake County, California, tracking the suspicious disappearance of Grant Whitaker, 25, and then Maverick Fisher, then 21, found their car. The vehicle had been abandoned and evidence inside suggested foul play. There was blood spill and insect activity, but there was no body, detectives told Accident, Suicide, or Murder, airing Saturdays at 8/7 on Oxygen. Detectives learned that Whitaker was a level-headed altruist who with deep interest in farming. Fisher, meanwhile, was an online influencer who savored the social media spotlight. Whitaker appreciated Fisher's ideas, according to Fisher's friend, Marissa Anarade, I think that's how you say her name. And despite their different personalities, the men became friends. They shared a vision on establishing a deaf community built around agriculture. In the spring of 2019, they got a lay of land, working on various farms in Northern California and posting their experiences on social media. But on August 19th, Whitaker's grandmother grew concerned when she did not hear from him. He lived with her in Illinois, and had her blue Chevy Impala. Richard Grove campsite in Humboldt County was the last address she had for him. 5 days later, her car was found at a thrift shop parking lot in Clear Lake Oaks. Blood evidence indicated that someone had wounded another person and transported them in this vehicle and dumped them somewhere, explained Alana Porter, Lake County's Sheriff's Office evidence supervisor. Investigators soon learned that Whitaker and Fisher reportedly clashed over the direction of the communal farm. While Whitaker's focus was on vegetables and agricultural products, Fisher's was on marijuana, according to the Lake County Sheriff's Office homicide detective Richard Clauser. That led to a bitter rift. Authorities also learned that days before Whitaker was reported missing, he had told his friends that he had severed ties with Fisher. He planned to drop him off at Lee's farm where they had previously worked. Before that, they had checked into Richardson Grove campsite on August 19th for one night. Andrade grew concerned when Whitaker did not text her as planned on August 20th. When she did receive a text from his phone, the message didn't appear to be from him. The wording was off. With help from Fisher's girlfriend Emily, she learned that Fisher was actually texting her. Why? It turned out that there had been an explosive blowout at the campsite. Fisher told Emily that during the fight, Whitaker tried to stab him and nicked his finger. Then, Whitaker drove off. Investigators had many questions about the alleged campsite blowout. Was Whitaker the aggressor? Did he flee? Where was Fisher? Why wasn't he talking with the sheriffs? A friend named Scotty Jackson contacted Fisher, who was in Mexico. Fisher told him he had killed Whitaker. He laughed about it, Jackson told producers. That absolutely shook me to my core. The knife fight attack erupted. The camp fire knife fight attack erupted, Fisher told Jackson, after he had told Whitaker he did not want to go into business with him. Instead, he was going to start his own deaf community commune. He then claimed that he acted in self-defense and struck Whitaker in the head with a rock. Jackson reached out to law enforcement after the call. Detective Jerry Fan, a former homicide detective with the Lake County Sheriff's Office, said he was surprised that Whitaker was being painted as the aggressor. Online evidence had suggested the opposite. Investigators had to determine if this case was accidental or in fact a homicide that was being covered up. They needed more evidence to finalize Fisher's extradition from Mexico. They enlisted Jackson, who appealed to Fisher to tell him where Whitaker's body was for the sake of the victim's family. Fisher said that he dumped the body at Lee's farm and shared detailed instructions on where to find the body, which was in a sleeping bag. On August 26th, the investigators arrived at Lee's 120-acre ranch with a search warrant. Fisher's directions led directly to Whitaker's body, which was flown out by helicopter. A week after Whitaker was killed, Fisher was extradited from Mexico to the United States. This looked more and more like a homicide and less like an accident. Accuser explained to producers. Through an ASL interpreter, Fisher described how the fight broke out in their tent over the men's differences about the plans of the communal farm. Fisher claimed that Whitaker cut him with a knife and he feared for his life. He got a rock that fit in the palm of his hand, and struck Whitaker in the head with it 20 times before he died. He took the body to Lee's farm. He did not want to go to jail, so he fled by bus to Tijuana, Mexico. Fisher maintained he acted in self-defense and that Whitaker's death was an accident. Would the evidence support the claim? The bloody tent proved to be problematic. Blood patterns suggested that Whitaker was lying down, probably sleeping, when he was struck with the rock. But because the tent had been folded, it was not possible to make definitive conclusions. Autopsy results indicated that Whitaker's skull had been crushed. The cause of death was blunt force trauma, Lake County reported. The only way that could have happened was with a large rock being held with two hands brought down on the skull, said Clauser. The autopsy ruled that the death was a homicide and revealed the brutality of the attack. The first or second blow would have incapacitated Grant, so Maverick could have gotten away, said Porter. But he continued to hit him till his skull was caved in. Fisher was charged with first-degree premeditated murder, assault with a deadly weapon, and auto theft. But because of the self-defense theory, Fisher was also charged with voluntary and involuntary manslaughter, according to the Lake County District Attorney Susan Crons. The trial began on October 2020. Fisher was found not guilty of first-degree murder. He was, however, convicted on involuntary manslaughter and theft of a vehicle. Fisher was sentenced to 4 years behind bars and served 19 months and was released on March 24, 2021. Please be kind in the comment section, as this case impacted Grant Whitaker's family and loved ones. They deserve kindness, love, and support after experiencing this tragic loss. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.